Amy and Christopher work at a local movie theater. They both sold tickets in the ticket booth on Tuesday. Which employee will have the higher receipt total at the end of their shifts? Create a matrix to organize the mathematical ideas and justify your answer. Okay, so here's Amy and Christopher. Notice that the first table just tells for each of them how many child tickets, student, adult, and senior tickets they both sold. And then in the second table, then we have the cost per ticket. And so we can form these both into matrices and then be able to use that to find our answer. So let's turn the first one into a matrix, and it's pretty convenient now. We can just use the same setup as the table. So let's go ahead and do that. I also went ahead and put our prices into a matrix. And so looking at this, if we want to know who has the higher receipt total, we need to know how much money, the money amount of the tickets they each sold. And so notice that the first column in our first matrix is going to be the number of child tickets, and that matches the first row of the other, that those are child tickets. And then the second column matches the second row, and so on. And so if we could just multiply these two together, then we should be able to get the total amount of money, because when we multiply these out, then it's going to be multiplying. Remember that we multiply in matrices, we multiply the first row by the first column. And so we'll end up multiplying, let's just look at it here. We'll end up multiplying 60 times 725. And that makes sense because that's the number of child tickets times the number that they each cost. And so that is lined up correctly. And then we would add next one, 48 times 10. And again, that makes sense as well because those are the number of student tickets and then times the student ticket dollar amount. And then so on. We'd multiply 144 by 1250 and 30 times 8. And I'll just leave off the 0.00 since we know that's just 8. I'll do that on the next one for 10 as well. And then going on, then we can do this now for Christopher's. So 102, and then again times 725 plus 27 times 10 plus 108 times 1250 plus 60 times 8. And now once we add these all together, then this will be the total amount of money that they make. So I'll just go ahead and write it over here since I'm kind of out of room down there. And so adding those together, I'm just going to use a calculator to multiply each of these and then add the first row together. So for Amy, we get 2,955. And then for Chris, we get 2,839 and 5/10. And so those are the total amount of money that the tickets produced in their shift. And so looks like Amy won. She had a higher, and so we can go ahead and summarize our answer. So first we have our matrices, multiplying the matrices, and then we took the first row, multiplied by the first column, and then the second row by the one and only column, and then we added those all together to get our totals. Amy will have a total of $2,955 in receipts, which is more than Christopher's total of $2,839.50. The product of the matrix representing the number of tickets sold and the matrix representing the price of each ticket describes the total sales for each employee.